What's going on, my friends? Uh, my fellow composers and everybody else. Hopefully you guys are getting some music done. If not, get on it. There's a lot going on out there, really is, and hopefully you're finding the right publishers. Just kind of jumping on, checking in a little bit. I've been very busy with some music projects. I'm finishing a 10-track rock. It's kind of a swagger garage rock. Excuse me, I cannot talk. Garage rock album for a publisher out in Los Angeles. I've got to get it done before I see him at the conference in October, and I'll probably later in the year after that work on another kind of a heavier hard rock metal type Q album for him as well. I've got so much other stuff I want to do and I've got to do here, so I've got to really stay focused on another publisher in New York that I work consistently for and some other guys. The goals I set for the year, which is important on a side note. I think I've said it in the past. Set your goals in a year. You know, you may not meet them all in a year. That's okay. You have to back up and punt the ball sometimes and do that. You need to do it. I wanted to kind of mention a few cool tips. And they were recommended. All these books were recommended from, I don't know if you guys know Michael Laszlo. He is head over an outfit called Taxi. You probably have heard of Taxi. And I know what you're thinking. I'm not big on the pay for play either. I'm really not. I don't like it. But I will say one thing about Taxi is that and any of those outfits, they're the most legit. I mean, they've been around 28 years. Mike's a sincere guy. He really has a good connection with the biggest people in the industry. A lot of people look to him and say, hey, listen, can you screen some material for me and try to find me some stuff? So I've tried Taxi once, and it just didn't work for me, but I don't know why I did this. But I just renewed it for a year. I'm going to take a different approach, and it's not that I need it. I'm busy with several other libraries, but it's a kind of a different, somebody explained to me that just really the other day, last week, that it's a different avenue to explore, maybe making connections with libraries that you would not normally be able to contact directly. Now, in other words, excuse me, got an itch. There are libraries that really don't take unsolicited music as much, unless you're composing with somebody and they bring you in and let you send them music. They're very picky and very hard to deal with, and I wouldn't say hard to deal with. They don't like to be bombarded with that. So they look to somebody like Michael and Taxi to say, here's what we're looking for. Here's how many tracks, however they go by doing it. And then they put the brief out there to do it. So I've been wanting to dive into doing dramedy and stuff. So I'm setting up sounds and working on, I think I'm going to do my hand at some dramedy cues for a brief that's August 21st. If I'm going to pay $300 for a year for this, and I think they make you pay $5 per submission, which is weird. I know it's hard. Listen, I know I'm right there with you. I don't like to pay for play, but, and truthfully, you don't have to do it. I didn't have to renew Taxi. It's just something, for some weird reason, I decided to do it. You can have just as much success not doing that, hitting these exclusive libraries and whatever works best for you, because, as I said, everybody's different. The libraries you work with may not work for somebody else, because that's your connection. That's the type of music you're doing, and find your home. But if I'm going to pay that membership, like I just said, why not put my all into it? Because the last time I did Taxi, I didn't look at production music like I do now, and I didn't really know how to break it down that well and understand there were some things. And with this situation, what I understand, what I'm saying with Taxi is, unless you have a track that fits that genre, they say don't ever shoehorn or just throw tracks in there because you think it will work. It's never going to work with those guys. They can see right through that. It's best to write for those opportunities specifically. In other words, analyze that cue, break it down, get the elements, your sounds together, and really put your heart and soul into it. It will pay off much quicker. And I've learned that, and it kind of dawned on me because I've done that with the publishers I work with now that I'm seeing that I've had better success with. Not just going, oh, I got a track over here, because really 9/10 everything I do is on an exclusive basis. So I don't have music sitting somewhere unless it's with a non-exclusive library, but that can only go to a non-exclusive publisher or situation. That stuff cannot go to another exclusive library. In other words, if you have music in a non-exclusive library, you can't set it to an exclusive library. You have to take it out of there. And you get a non-exclusive library that has it in perpetuity. It's just like exclusive, except you can work with other non-exclusive people. It's not going anywhere where you can't get it out of that library. But anyway, Mike years ago referred a couple of books from a lady named Robin Fredericks. Now, if you're a singer-songwriter, she's got one, probably the most renowned singer-songwriter tips and tricks called Shortcuts to Songwriting from Robin Fredericks. Look her up on Google. They sell them on Amazon. Get that book if you're a singer-songwriter. If you write for film and TV, she's got Shortcuts to Writing for Film and TV, and I've read both these books. The Shortcuts to Writing for Film and TV is amazing. I have it in storage somewhere. I've read it. I've got the book. It's a great book. I thought about bringing it back out and kind of looking at it again, for something I missed. She really does an amazing job, and I highly recommend those two books. I'm not a singer-songwriter, but I read it anyway because I said, well, maybe if I really get into doing lyrics, she has an amazing technique to show you. But for film and TV, she shows you how to write lyrics catering to film and TV, the music, all that stuff. But there were some other books. There's a guy named Steve Barden, Barden. Steve went to Musicians Institute like myself here years ago. I don't know when he went, probably right before me. He's probably a little bit older than me, but he's got a book. I read it, but I was already kind of ahead of that, but it's a great book for people who are just starting out in the business. Get his book. Steve does a lot of videos with Mike on Taxi. They call it Taxi TV on YouTube. You can follow that, where he breaks down cues and shows you in the simplest of ways how to do cues and gives you the best advice. Obviously, these guys are not the only resource. I've given you a lot of resources I pass on that I follow. I talk about Jesse Everett Sync My Music. You may not like that, but his course was the only one I could recommend. His courses on teaching you how to do genres of music. He brought a few guys together that really did an amazing job. That's the reason why I do underscores, because of those courses. I fell right into it, and it's amazing. And I'm telling you, as a true testament. I'm not trying to push or, I don't really talk to Jesse ever. I don't, have that connection with him, but I'm just telling you, I took the course and it worked. But Steve Barden has a great book, Writing for Film and TV. There are two books from this guy. I'm reading this now. Dean, I hope this isn't backwards. I can't even pronounce his last name. You can spell it Krippaehne, Krippaehne. I think it's Dean Krippaehne, if I remember the pronunciation. It's called Demystifying the Genre. He has another book called Demystifying the Cue. I would get that book if you're just starting out. In fact, it's a quick read. It almost seems like he's dummying it down, kind of like a Cliff Notes version of this is what it looks like, but it really is cool. Because if you're just starting out writing for film and TV, it's a really great read because he breaks it down so simple. What he does on his webpage is he has the audio examples of this book. You can follow the audio and you can follow him. I think it's really cool. It's the first time I've ever seen that, and I like that a lot. So, but I'm reading this because I want to get into doing dramedy. He has a section on dramedy in here, and it's really easy. Compared to him and what I've seen, there's a video that Thomas Dolby, yes, the Thomas Dolby that created the Dolby sound units that are used in some of the biggest studios. He did that Blinded by Science or something. Can't remember the name of that track. I used to hear it all the time in the 80s. But you know what I'm talking about. I was like, is that the Thomas Dolby? I'm sitting there watching him. He's out of his house. And he's walking you through a dramedy cue. Follow him. There's a lot of how-to videos on writing genres of music. One guy did a good job. I can't remember his name. Writing music for comedy, and he laid out a pretty good video of learning how to do Dramedy and stuff. So, but you get my point. There's just a lot of great resources out there on the internet. Just, follow them. Take what works best for you. But this is actually so far a pretty good quick read. I'm not done with it, but I may not, look into every type of music on here, but I get what he's doing. So, and I might get demystifying the cue, even though I'm kind of past that point, because I understand how to structure cues versus to writing songs, and that's what throws a lot of people off getting into production music, is how it's structured. It's almost dummied down, but it's not. It frustrates because you're like, I can't be creative because I'm trying to get on all these rules about how to do this, and I have to structure it this way, and I can't do it like that. The cool thing about production music is you can do it while you do what you love to do. You can do both. You just budget your time, you can do it. You can do both. I was telling somebody that the other day, you can do both. The cool thing about it is that if you get into the knack of structuring cues and writing stuff for TV and start getting the structure right and how to do this, it will bring dividends later because it's a volume business. You've got to keep writing. Write. You really do. You have to work at it. I'm not going to lie to you, it's some work. It may seem like work, and I get it. And other people have said this. It's not for everybody. Writing production music may not be for you. That's okay. There's always something else you can do. So, but I will say, if you're going to do production music or any type of music, you got to love it to do it. Because if you don't love it, it's going to be more work than going to your 8 to 5 every day. I'm telling you. That's not the case with me. So anyway, I wanted to get on and share that. I hope you guys are doing well. I thank you so much for watching. And if y'all could please hit the like button as much as you can. Subscribe if you haven't. It always helps me as it does other YouTube creators. And we will see you guys on the next video. I appreciate you so much. Take care. Bye.